And now a few words from boxing promoter Deborah King.
So, Mayor Franklin, how did the women's movement come about here in Warren, Ohio?
It started, I've always, from what I've been able to ascertain through study, is it started here with the Upton Association, with Harriet Upton. She was sort of the ringleader amongst the female groups around town in terms of bringing this issue to the forefront. And she started a nice coalition that actually spread throughout the state and just expanded. So Warren and Trimble County was sort of like a hotbed for women's rights struggles and the right to vote, more importantly.
So now, as I walked around and looked at your sites, I see the Women's Park. Who are all the names of those women around there? Are those the ones that started with her, or the family members and
Those
descendants?
are some of those are family members. Some are at the Women's Park. Those are just a lot of families in our community who wanted their female ancestors just remembered and commemorated in that park.
Okay.
But it was all related to the women's rights movement, and they did a great job with building that park, shepherding that park, and it just honors females and women.
It's a beautiful site.
It really is.
It's a beautiful
It's one of our
site.
most widely used, and we always have Women's Equality Day. The day of the weigh-in, we're going to have a ceremony up top for Women's Equality Day. But it's used for many events, graduations, weddings, and people. It's just a beautiful space.
It is, and as we were talking to Beth at the Tourism Bureau, she said that they're going to talk about the right to vote.
Yes.
So that's going to be brought back up. So here we are in 2022, and we have to go back to how it began in 1965, and we fighting to vote on our own self now.
Yes.
So, you know,
Full circle.
the struggle still
It
continues.
still continues, but we're up to the fight.
Yes.
Another tidbit of history that you'd be interested in. This is my office, our current city hall. But our first city hall was right on the corner of the square where you see that log cabin.
Uh-huh.
The first speaker at that city hall when it was built brand new was Frederick Douglass.
Really?
Yes, and I still have newspaper clippings of his talk here, and he talked about his relationship with John Brown, the great white abolitionist, and how he decided and told John he couldn't join his group because it would be detrimental to his mission and what he wanted to aspire to in terms of abolition and the right to free blacks. Yes, so it's a great history, and I'm so proud that you're bringing a women's championship fight. It's sort of like divine intervention on the right day and the right time. So
Absolutely.
we're going to have a great time and celebrate women.
It
so
is,
I really
you know,
thank you for that.
it's long overdue.
Yes.
You know, we get tidbits, you know, a little recognition here, a little there, but when you think about it, no one ever goes back to where it started.
No, they don't.
You know, so you show your accomplishments of where you've come to, but let's thank the ones who paved the way.
Absolutely.
You know, and they're important.
And women have been paving the way for us men all along, often without recognition or acknowledgement. So we're going to stop that trend. We're going to continue to showcase how important women have been to the fabric of civil life. Women's rights are closely tied with civil rights, if not one and the same. So we need to honor that, particularly as African Americans.
I agree. I agree, because we've struggled so far and so long and so hard, but once an event or an accomplishment is made, it's like we're escorted back to just sit in the background again.
Absolutely.
Until something else important and you need that support, then we're dusted off and pushed back out front. But we've always been, you know, since the beginning of time when God made Eve out of that rib, we've always been there for them, but we're not appreciated all the time.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad to be a part of your event that acknowledges the equality of women, and you're a beacon of that example as well to me.
I appreciate that.
So I really thank you for letting our city host this great event. We're very honored for that. But I also, I don't know if I mentioned that, but the great abolitionist, civil rights leader Sojourner Truth spent her winter as the guest of the Upton family because of her ferocity and her compassion with women's rights and the abolitionist movement. So, right, every time I step into this building to go to work, I always honor those who paved the way before me, and obviously women have paved that way.
You know, we started off by giving y'all life. Let's start there.
Amen. Amen. That's a good place to start.
That's a good place.
Nothing happens without that happening.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. But it is really my pleasure, and I look so forward to doing something on that level to bring recognition back to women, because they don't know.
Yes.
You know, a lot of us don't even know that it started in a little town like this, that you know, you had all those pathways to freedom.
Yes.
You know,
7 routes, 7 underground railroad routes are right here in the city of Warren.
Wow, isn't that something?
It's very humbling and very enlightening for me to come to work every day knowing that my community had a part in my people's freedom. So I work with that humbleness every single day that I step into this office. But I have a lot to be thankful for, and thanks to women, I'm here today.
So, you know, for Frederick Douglass to speak here, Sojourner Truth to visit here, for the numerous amounts of slaves as well as abolitionists, and all the men and women who helped us get to freedom. That's a wonderful thing.
It really is. It really is. But I agree with you, Debbie. We have to teach our own people. We have to teach men, and particularly women. And you know, as African Americans, we need to teach our own young people our own history and our own struggles, and that's been a problem because the traditional educational systems have left our story out deliberately. So it's really up to us to fill in those blanks and to really have a strong historical educational campaign for our people.
And I think that is very much needed, and we have to start now, or we're losing generations.
Yes.
You know, because they don't know the rich fabric of which they're made from.
Amen.
You know, and we got a lot of strong kings and queens out there who have really did the blood, sweat, and tears for us to have every right we have, and we don't use them, appreciate them, or take advantage of them.
Yes.
But we complain.
Well, it goes to that, you know, we know freedom ain't free.
Exactly.
It was paid for by a lot of brave men and women, black and white.
Yes.
So we have to acknowledge that and continue to fight and realize that if we don't, that freedom can easily be taken away from us.
Absolutely. This is a gift. You know, they say, God said the greatest gift in the world is life. What we do with that life is the greatest gift we give back.
I love that statement.
You know, so we got to honor those who have paved the way, keep paving the way, and hope that future generations will continue to pave the way so that we will never become a state. Thank you.
God bless you.